Hello and welcome back to the Slasher Siblings podcast. This week we are talking about Zombieland, one of my favorite movies for the month of June, which is my birthday month, which is on Sunday.
Oh yeah, your birthday is Sunday.
Yeah, Paramore.
Hell yeah.
This is the second movie we're doing this month as part of my favorite movies for my birthday or whatever.
Birthday.
And this one's probably my most favorite off the list, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's-
This is a good one.
This is a really good one. So, it was made in 2009, was rated R, hour and 28 minutes, like I said last time.
Shut
Told you. I accidentally written rated R again. It got a 7.6 out of 10. Just too low. It's way
It
better.
wasn't rated R?
It was, yeah.
Oh.
But 7.6, that's not fair.
Nah.
It's way better than that. For the people that don't know what it's about, a shy student trying to reach his family in Ohio, a gun-toting bruiser in search of the last Twinkie, and a pair of sisters striving to get to an amusement park join forces in a trek across a zombie-filled America. That's a pretty decent description of the movie. It's horror / comedy, heavy on the comedy part, but I don't know. This is definitely one of my favorite movies. It's hilarious and
It's so good. It's always been good.
yeah. No matter, like I said, I watched it at least 365 times, and I still
At least.
and I still want to watch it. I still love this movie no matter how many times I see it. And I know what's coming next every time.
Well, yeah, I hope you do.
Yeah, and I'm still sitting there like, what's going to happen next? I don't know. I just do that I think I do that on purpose, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, you have anything you want to say before? Oh, read the question.
Which one was it? The second one?
No, it was the top one.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Jack Nicholson stars as a werewolf in what 1994 movie? Wolf.
That was easy. I didn't see this one,
Me either.
and I didn't even know he had another horror movie.
I'm kind of disappointed I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to get on that.
All right, you have anything?
Mm-mm.
All right, let's just get into it.
Let's dive down deep.
The opening, I think, throws you directly into the movie, where he's talking about, oh, this is how it used to be, and
It won't be like that anymore ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's immediately just explaining to you what happened. You know, it's just saying like, oh, I have this, set of rules, and like, this is the reason why, I do it and whatnot. And then there's that guy who was eating the guy, and he like picked his teeth. I always think that's funny.
Nasty.
That zombie that picks his teeth.
That makes me uncomfortable every time.
But I also like the intro, like I said, to the roles. It's very creative how they did that, because it was cardio. It showed the fat dude running on the football field and getting eaten.
Yeah.
He's like, well, obviously, for obvious reasons, the first ones to go were the fatties.
The fatties.
I also liked the seatbelt one. I mean, I get it, like, you're running for your life, but I feel like every single
Pay
time...
attention at least.
Yeah. I feel like every single time I get into a car, I'm putting on the seatbelt.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's just like an instinct.
Yep.
So even if, like, I haven't been put in a situation, but life-threatening situation, I would probably still...
Yeah, I'm a big seatbelt girl.
Yeah, I'm big into seatbelts, too. Like, we could move, like, 3 feet, and I'm still putting it on.
Put that on.
like this parking spot to that one.
Uh-huh.
That's 15 feet away. I'm still putting it on.
I'm gonna put that shit on.
But it goes right into the iconic intro, I guess you could say, to the movie of For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be one of the most badass openings to a movie.
Oh yeah, has to be.
Not only did you get Metallica, but it's like the cool, because there's the Scarface reference with the dude with the AK just blowing down zombies, and there's that stripper that makes me laugh every single time, no matter what. The fireman is pretty funny. He's like running from that zombie that's on fire with the dude not even paying attention. It's just something about that for whom the bell tolls sequence that makes me laugh every time. I don't know what it is. It's just really funny. But it's also, like I said, clever because they're using a song to kind of, I guess, tell a story a little bit.
Yeah.
And the story's happening like in the background. And I also like how like every time someone runs past the words, they knock the letters.
Yeah.
The one zombie's falling on the windshield and he smacks it with his elbow. And I just love that opening. It was pretty cool. But I also like the introduction to Columbus and Tallahassee.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite parts.
So it starts off with Columbus at a gas station, and we see the cardio in use, his rule number one, or yeah, I think it's number one.
He tried to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and he has a rule to beware of bathrooms. I guess that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And we also see, without seeing, the rule, always check the back seat. He didn't check the back seat.
Yeah.
And there was a zombie back there. So it's cool to see, like, within, I don't know, what was that, 5 minutes?
Yeah, a couple of the rules.
Like, several rules immediately.
Yeah.
But it's so funny to see him, like, run in a giant circle, drop his keys, run in another giant circle, and then realize his car was unlocked the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, how else did the zombie get in there, too, if it wasn't unlocked, which is funny. When they're using doorknobs. You know? He used the doorknob and got in the car, so it's kind of creepy. But there's also the intro to Tallahassee. He lost his car and he's walking down the street, or down the highway. And he tries hiding behind that motorcycle. What's the motorcycle gonna do? And they're just sitting there aiming their guns at each other, and he just like sticks his thumb out.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna play Hitchhiker.
They literally picked the most perfect actors to play these roles in this movie. I couldn't see this movie being done by literally anybody else except them. And I also like how Tallahassee just had to kick the motorcycle over.
Yeah.
He had to.
Of course,
he couldn't
that's
leave
his
it
character.
standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just like the immediate interaction between the two of them in the truck. He's like, oh, you almost knocked your alcohol over with your knife. Obviously making fun of Tallahassee without being an asshole about it, but like, their chemistry immediately was already, you could tell it was going to be funny. Then the hostess truck. Almost immediately after we meet Tallahassee, he finds a hostess truck. That has to be the funniest way to introduce the central plot of the movie. Like the whole thing they're doing for at least half the movie and the last few minutes is looking for a Twinkie.
I know. That's like one of the constant things in the movie.
Exactly.
Is they're looking for a Twinkie.
I mean, right in the middle, it's them having fun, but the whole beginning is like, we're looking for a fucking Twinkie. And his reaction to seeing the snowballs come pouring out of there.
Yeah.
I actually agree with Tallahassee where he says, I hate coconut. It's not the taste, it's consistency. They put too fucking much coconut on everything.
I hate coconut.
I
Period.
don't mind the taste. It's just how much they put on everything. He's absolutely correct. I've actually used that line like in real life before. People asked if like I don't know if I like coconut or whatever. I'm like, it's not the taste, it's the consistency. Like I've literally said that to people, so it's absolutely true. But relatable, exactly. It's just so funny, like how over the top he was about the snowballs. It's just a truck sitting on the side of the road. You're lucky it was not full of zombies or something.
Yeah. Could have been way worse.
And then, shortly after that, I feel like this would probably be you. You would probably be Columbus in a zombie world.
Definitely.
He was explaining how he's afraid of clowns. That has to be...
He's afraid of everything.
That's true, but how... I can't even imagine, like, how... If you're afraid of clowns, you're definitely afraid of zombies.
Oh, yeah.
You know? They're way more terrifying than clowns. So it's just like, how can you... how hard is it to live in a place full of zombies with, like, fear of clowns like that? That's
and
crazy.
he carries around hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
That would be me.
That would be you, yeah.
That would be me for sure.
And, like, having rules to keep yourself alive, too. I could see you doing, which would be funny.
Oh, yeah.
But then, I also like the 406 backstory. Where she just shows up pounding on his doors. Was that Amber Heard? Yeah.
Okay.
Where she shows up just pounding on Columbus's door. I really like this because it shows like how quickly he got introduced to.
Yeah, that was the first zombie he saw, I guess, right?
Yeah. And
because he wouldn't have let her in if he didn't.
Right, yeah.
You think he had to leave his apartment?
I mean, I would assume so to get food and stuff.
Oh.
Because, I mean, he probably only had Code Red and Teddy Grahams.
Yeah.
Or Golden Crisps or whatever he called them. But it's still the fact that, like, she showed up. Well, I mean, she didn't know, but, like, she showed up after being bit by a homeless man. And it was like, all of a sudden, she turned into a zombie. He had to, like, instantly jump into fight or flight mode. It was actually really cool to see how, like, quickly he adapted.
And he got used to it, yeah. And, like, kind of knew what to do.
But it was also nice to see a little backstory of at least one of the characters. I mean, Columbus is, like, the main character of the four. But the movies are really about the four of them. He's just, like, narrating or whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought that the Beverly Hills story...
Beverly Hills. Yeah.
The whole FedEx thing.
I don't know how he didn't,
he didn't get it.
He didn't
catch
on to it.
What was her name? Beverly Hills.
Because you dirty dog.
That has to be, like, the most generically used fake name ever.
Ever.
Beverly Hills. And it was funny that he just saw a bunch of FedEx boxes on the side of the road, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, we had sex in a FedEx truck."
That makes.
Yeah, like that was the first place he went, but that was pretty funny. But it also kind of, with context from later in the movie, you realize that Tallahassee didn't give his story of when he last, did the deed.
Yeah.
Because he probably hasn't since his son and wife died.
Yeah.
He's probably just been so pissed and killing zombies.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of, once you get context later, kind of makes you upset a little bit.
Yeah.
When you
I
think
felt
back.
really bad for him.
I know. Because he didn't give a story in that moment.
Was he lying about his puppy?
Yeah. That was his son.
Yeah.
Then there's that pretty iconic grocery store fight.
Oh, yeah.
He actually played the banjo there.
Oh, did he? I was wondering if he did.
he took the time to learn that because he said it would be dumb to kind of do
Fake
like
it.
like a fake it one. But he actually played the banjo.
I thought he did. It
In
looked
that
like
part.
he actually did.
Yeah. I didn't write it down because I knew this probably since the first time I watched it or whatever.
Did
But-
you juggle it in 2009?
Yeah, probably. They had it's for later in the movie, but when he finally eats the Twinkie, that was actually like a special made vegan Twinkie because Woody Harrelson's a vegan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like a cool fact that
Mm-hmm.
probably everyone knows because if you know Woody Harrelson, you knew he was a vegan.
I did not know that.
But they actually made like a special Twinkie for him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, the grocery store fight is probably it's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I don't know, it's the comedic back and forth between Columbus and Tallahassee that really does it for this scene for me. And like I said before, I feel like they have a good chemistry between the two of them immediately. And it's just so funny to see like Tallahassee just like go all out. Well, I
Yeah.
guess he didn't go all out until the end of the movie, but like it was nice to see like a glimpse of it because there was that scene where Columbus was like he was in the ass kicking business and business is good. I really love that scene too,
Yeah.
but that's basically the only glimpse of him being like a zombie killing badass that you
Mhm.
really see until the end of the movie. But there's also that scene where they meet the girls. And it's funny how they were both taken in by the lie.
They both fell for it
Yeah, Columbus is supposed to be smart, you know.
and had all these rules.
And then Tallahassee was supposed to be like this survival junkie,
Mm-hmm.
and neither of them caught the lie,
Yeah.
which I think is really telling about their character, as in like they want people.
To think.
I
these
mean, they're
things-
trying to be like this loner badass people,
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
they want people.
Well, yeah.
They don't want
It's
to
a
be
world
alone.
full of zombies.
So they just instantly, trusted two humans. They didn't think that two humans
Yeah.
would do something bad to them. So they were just like, oh yeah, you
You're
know.
fucked too.
And I liked the conversation of them walking down the street after the girls took their truck of zombie kill of the week. It's like, oh, the zombie's head was like stuck in the chain with its hair and just going around.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good. Zombie kill of the week? No. He's talking about how the steamroller and
Uh-huh.
the tube of toothpaste from the bottom and the zombie's
I
head's
know,
the
it's
cap.
very visual.
Yeah, you can see that in your
Yeah.
head. And I really like the interaction of how he's talking about the story and then all of a sudden he's like, are you one of those guys that has to one up everything that everyone says?
Yeah.
And immediately he goes, no, I knew a guy way worse than that than me. So he instantly tried
Yeah.
to one up his story immediately. So it just proved the point.
Exactly.
Which is hilarious. But the dad's favorite scene in this movie is right here. I also love this scene where they see the minivan when they're looking for a car.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, look, that's a nice minivan. He goes, my favorite line from the whole movie, Dad's favorite line, oh, you know something, that is nice. He goes over and beats the living shit out of the
I
van.
know, that part is so funny.
It's such a good line, and nobody but Woody Harrelson could do it like
Yep.
that.
Starts
I also-
beating the shit out of it.
Earlier, when they're in the truck drinking the alcohol and he throws it out the window,
Yeah.
and he tells him to enjoy the little things. And my other favorite line is when I gotta give it, I would never thought anybody that looks like Yosemite Sam. he called Tallahassee.
Are you serious?
So Yosemite Sam, yeah, when he says enjoy
Uh-huh.
the little things. I think that's hilarious. I can't remember the exact quote, but I
I
just
think
remember
it's funny when he throws that drink out the window
Yeah,
too.
it's
He's
like,
like,
"Oh, that's
one
good."
and done. That's what they call me, one and done.
I only said that once. I don't, they're
They're funny.
comedic geniuses, both
Yeah.
of them. And they found the Hummer. I always like this scene because of the obvious. They found another vehicle, but they found all those guns in the back. So
Yeah.
not only did they find a vehicle, but they were safe. And he's like, "Oh, thank God for rednecks."
Yeah,
I love
that was
that
so
part.
funny.
And he's just sitting there wasting ammo.
Yeah,
And I don't know, it's just the interaction between Tallahassee and Columbus. Just everything they do and say is just hilarious about this movie. Then, a little bit of a sad part, serious part, I guess you could say, was the puppy named Buck story. While that's a nice story, and that's a good enough story to drive anybody crazy, but it still felt like it was missing something. Because he didn't seem quite like the person to go on a complete rampage after losing a puppy.
yeah,
Even though, obviously you would be one of the ones to go completely nuts over, like, losing one of your dogs. But,
oh
like,
yeah,
he didn't quite seem... It seemed like he wasn't telling the full truth about the story.
Yeah, you
at
could
the
tell.
very least.
mm-hmm.
But it was, like, sad enough that you believed it. It was missing one tiny element, but you kind of were just like, that's probably true. Because,
Mm-hmm.
the way he told it. Obviously, he didn't say it was his son, but they lost another vehicle
Yeah,
coming up. They got taken again, and it was funny how Tallahassee gets back in the truck. He's like, they're in the back seat, aren't they? Just me.
just me.
And he freaks out and says, and she shoots in the air, and he's like, "Don't kill me with my own gun!"
Don't kill me with my own gun.
And he goes, "You got taken over? Or you got kidnapped by a 12-year-old? Oh, well, girls mature faster than boys, so...
Yeah.
12's the new 20. Gun, please." And he's just like, "Oh, she's like a crouching tiger." It was just... I think Columbus and Tallahassee are my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah, they're both really funny.
I really like the girls a lot, but it was
Mhm.
those two that really make me want to keep watching this movie. The Wichita backstory is always going to be funny because he says how they were running scams for a long time on guys like him, and it shows the gas station employee from earlier in the
Yeah.
movie who gets eaten in the stall. I just think that whole backstory is
yeah.
hilarious. How they're just like so comfortable with running scams like
Yeah.
that. Like, and he was just so gung ho about it just because she was pretty.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
he's
that
like, "Oh
easy.
yeah, take all this money."
Is that easy?
I get it, like, but I don't know. It's just the fact that he was just so like gung ho about it. He didn't like. He got her number, which he didn't even try to see if it was a real number. And I mean, you should ask for an address more than a phone number.
Yeah. That's more reliable.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Give me the address I can send this ring to, rather than give me your
Yeah,
phone number
yeah.
and I'll try to contact you and get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like, give me an address. They
Yeah.
could have literally written any address, but
Oh,
on
yeah.
his part, he should have been like, "All right, I need an address, not a phone number." But whatever. I just thought that backstory is really funny. But then there's the moment where Wichita tells Columbus that it's completely burnt to the ground. Kind of shows like how lost they are without like the communication between people.
Uh-huh.
And it also shows like they're still learning about each other. And what I mean by that is the fact that she thought that Columbus was in the back seat.
Yeah.
She obviously knew that like he could take it, so she was like, "Oh yeah, it's burnt to the ground." And he was real upset by it. So it's like it shows that they're still kind of like learning things about each other. One of them is their name. Okay, probably my second favorite part of the entire movie is the Indian shop. And I say second because there's one later in the movie that's my favorite, but I absolutely love the Indian shop scene.
Oh, that's definitely one of my favorite scenes.
And the reason being is because they are figuring each other out. You know what I mean? Like they're getting along and like breaking shit and having fun. It's kind of like an icebreaker almost. And that's when they kind of open up to each other a little bit. And I also really like the Cynthia Knickerbocker.
Yeah.
Where she drops the piano on the dude.
Yeah.
I really like that scene too. I thought it was, for a nun to set something up like that is just absolutely hilarious. But I also really like the scene of road trip musical chairs. I think that's really funny. Where like a different person's driving this whole scene, and like they're all in different seats, all talking to one another, getting to know each other
about different things.
Yeah,
I like the when they talk about Hannah Montana.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I love that whole interaction between everybody in that scene. But I like how they get to Hollywood. He's just like, we're going to the tippy top of the A list, and they show up at Bill Murray's house. Bill Murray is excellent.
Bill fucking Murray.
I absolutely love this whole thing about Bill Murray's house. It wasn't his real house. It was, I forget the dude's name.
I was gonna say, it was a really pretty house, whoever's house it was.
It was, I can't remember who it was, but I just like how taken away they are by Bill Murray's house. Because there's all this cool, expensive stuff. He has his own movie theater.
Yeah.
And they eventually meet him. I just think that everything that ensues is hilarity. You know, it's just pure comedy for this, I don't know, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe, of the movie. Everything is just pure comedy. But until he gets shot. I mean, to be fair,
they shouldn't have played the prank
on him.
Yeah. Like
maybe Tallahassee.
But Columbus
was not the good one to do that.
He's obviously gonna
He's a little scared squirrel.
Yeah,
is what she
he's
called
gonna
him.
react and
Which
shoot.
I don't, necessarily like that he died, but he kind of deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, it is
in
what
a
it
zombie
is.
apocalypse.
But, they're opening up even more after this. They're sitting around playing Monopoly, and then we get the real Buck story.
That made me so sad.
It always makes me sad. No matter how many times I watch this movie, I always get sad at that part, because Tallahassee's this big tough guy.
Yeah.
And then he's just breaking down because his son got killed. That's such a horrible, story, I guess. I also like how Columbus was like, how did I not see it? Me, the one with the best cardio in the business.
Yeah.
And I don't know what cardio has to do with it, but I guess he does say, me with the best cardio in the business didn't realize that I'm not the only one running away from something.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I get it. But, it was just funny the way he said it at first. But he's, wiping his tears with the Monopoly money, and I haven't cried like that since Titanic. The way he delivers that line is absolutely hilarious. Obviously, there are some things that get through his tough exterior or whatever. And then there's all four of them getting along, getting to know each other.
Which it's nice to see that, because they've all been so lonely and stuff,
And I get it, the sisters have been together this whole time, but Sure, yeah, like, say me and you are, like, the only ones left in Connellsville or something.
Oh God.
I mean,
Could you
we
imagine?
get along now,
Yeah,
but, like,
for the most part.
we'd want to see other people. You know, we
Yeah.
couldn't just see each
Nope.
other every day, or be like the last two people alive on Earth.
I'd probably, if you and I were the last two people alive on Earth, I'd probably, I'd let a zombie eat me. I'm
Wow,
just kidding.
thanks. But
I had to say it.
it was really nice to see, like, them actually getting along for real.
Yeah.
He was teaching how to shoot. They were drinking wine and dancing and talking about, you know, the past and stuff. Like, it was really nice to have, like, common interest in the group. But they also took the car and left in the morning, which is another sad moment. It's like, you were just getting to the point where, like, you were becoming a family and then you ran away.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a reason for that. They can't trust anybody but themselves, I guess. Then there's... Okay, so Pacific Playland was empty. There was no zombies. But turning on all the lights attracted them.
That's what did it.
That's what did it. Now, this is my favorite sequence of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is the battle for Pacific Playland. The whole thing. From the moment that Columbus falls off of the motorcycle until the very end of the movie, this is my favorite part. Where they're all just fucking running and killing zombies the whole time.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene out of this whole sequence is Tallahassee's, like, last stand or whatever.
When he's in the
When
booth.
he's in the booth and he just keeps loading the pistols, shooting like 200 zombies.
Yeah.
Like, that is my absolute favorite part of this movie. I absolutely love that scene. Because it shows, honestly, it shows how badass he is.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, it's a very good scene to see them coming to save the girls.
It's heartwarming.
Yeah. Because, yeah, they ran away with the truck and everything, but, like, they were still willing to go and help them. They weren't quite ready to give up on them, you know?
If I was in the booth like that and zombies were coming after me, I would fucking shit my pants.
And then, probably the worst part for you is Columbus versus the Clown. And it goes to show, like, how much he grew through the movie. Because at the beginning, he didn't want anything to do with anyone because of his rules or whatever. And now, at the end of the movie, he's kind of bending them a little bit so that he can have his family.
Yeah.
And, like, he even changes "don't be a hero" to "be a hero" because he needs to save Wichita.
He needs to be a hero.
Yeah, he has to save them. He needs to be a hero. And that's a really nice scene, how he confronts his biggest fear, as he puts it, and, you know, becomes the hero.
Yeah.
And they finally kiss, which has been coming the whole movie. Which has been coming the whole movie, and they finally do it. And I guess this is the moment that they start, like, a relationship or whatever, too. He shoots the Twinkies, which is, I think, is a hilarious scene, because
he fucked up.
He's destroying the deep fried Twinkie shop, throwing the candy everywhere, looking for Twinkies. And he was like, "Can you just, like, eat around the buckshot?" And he just, like, stares at him. Just the emotional weight of the Twinkies is just hilarious. But he gets his Twinkie, like I said before, was a vegan version of it. But I also liked how, in the end, it was actually one of the girls that gave him the Twinkie. I like that because it kind of solidifies the relationship they have.
Like, they made sure he got that Twinkie.
Yeah, exactly. It just shows that at this point, you know, they were into, like, the family dynamic or whatever. And I also think this is an amazing finish to the movie where they get into the truck and they're talking about how, you know, it's hard to live in Zombieland and stuff, but
Yeah.
you can't do it alone, stuff like it. I think that was a really nice wrap up to the movie after seeing like them all go from loners to like one big family.
To one big family, yeah.
And I also added in the after credit scene. Did you watch the after credit scene? For the people that also didn't stay for the after credit scene, but it goes back to where Bill Murray's dying in the theater.
Yeah.
And Woody Harrelson and him are talking to each other.
Uh-huh.
And Tallahassee's trying to quote a line from the movie. He's like, how do you do it? And he like wakes up from being dead and he like repeats the line that he said and then he goes back to being dead.
That's so funny.
It's hilarious.
I'll have to watch it.
I thought that this movie is an excellent movie.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 9 out of 10. Because obviously,
Yeah.
you know, there's little things that are
Yeah.
kind of silly or not good or whatever, but like
Yeah,
and
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
there's very few like perfect movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think we've had a perfect movie truly yet. We've given like movies 10 out of 10, but it hasn't been, we haven't seen like the perfect movie quite yet. We've seen very, very good movies, obviously, but anyway, I do have some I actually have a lot of fear facts today. Other than the Twinkie thing I said earlier, like I said, I didn't write it down. Woody Harrelson was arrested for weed during the shoot.
For weed?
It actually delayed the shooting of the movie for one day because he was arrested because he had weed on him.
Oh my god.
The Hannah Montana bit that you were talking about,
Yeah.
that was ad-libbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were actually talking about it, and they just recorded it, which I find adds like a very nice element to the movie. Because not only like were they having that moment as characters, but they are also having that moment like in real life, which is really funny. The puppy named Buck was actually Little Rock's real life puppy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Which is also nice that they just like, anybody have a dog that we can have for 15 minutes? Emma Stone was actually supposed to be 406.
Oh, really?
Instead of the main character. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what happened that made her become, one of the main characters, but
I like that they did that.
yeah. This was shot in 42 days. Should have been 41, if he wouldn't have been arrested.
For weed.
For weed. But it was shot in 42 days. And Woody Harrelson is known for, like, method acting. And a TMZ paparazzo was in an airport taking pictures of him. I guess he, like, assaulted the TMZ person because he was like still in Tallahassee's character and he thought he was a zombie, he said.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like he was like, I guess, surprised by him or something. I don't know the full story of what happened, but like
something like that
happened.
That's crazy,
right? There are 33 total roles. Obviously we don't get all of them. We get like 6 of them or something, but there are 33 total roles. I guess number 33 would have been Enjoy the Little Things, I guess. But there's also the Garfield line that Bill Murray
that made
says.
me laugh.
He's like, do you have any regrets?
Garfield
maybe. That was ad-libbed. He was supposed to be dead already.
That was so funny.
He wasn't supposed to say anything, which just adds why Bill Murray is like the king of comedy, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week of our talk of Zombieland. How about you read the next question before we do anything else?
What 1981 sequel is the feature film Directorial debut of James Cameron.
Okay. Don't Google it, and answer on the Facebook. And if you're listening, give us our recommendations, and if you want to be a guest, and we can figure out a way.
HMU.
Yeah, that's right. Rain did give us a couple recommendations.
Oh, cool.
I'm not going to say them out loud because I think we actually want to do all 4 of them.
Oh,
but,
nice.
he sent me a message telling me what we should do, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But next week is going to be Creepshow, which is also one of my favorite movies, and one of the first horror movies I've seen. It was like Beetlejuice, Creepshow, and Jeepers Creepers were like the first horror movies I really saw. Actually, I think it was Creepshow that actually made me like fall in love with horror.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
because of like how like corny it was, but like the effects were still cool in it, and the stories were good.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to do that one. But if that's all you have,
That's all I got, partner.
that's all I got too. So we'll catch you next week with Creepshow.
Catch you later.